What is this lesson we are going to learn about another types of cat. These are two different types. One is that beverage crop and second is that what is that fiber crops. So two types of tax crops we are going to learn from. We previous lesson we learned two type of cash crops. Yes. So one type of sorry, previous lesson we have learned about the certain cash crops which are uh, purely for that purpose of selling. One is that sugarcane, and the other is for that oil seeds, which are of different cash. Here, these cash crops, let us learn different ways. What is that first type of cash crop? Cotton and jute, what type is that? Fiber crops. What is fiber? Huh? Can you tell what is fiber? What is fiber? So the crops from which the thread is separated is called the fiber crop. Am I audible?
Yes, ma'am.
Ma'am, your voice is breaking in between.
Okay. Maybe there is some way of what is that? Okay. It can be settled. Yes. Yeah. Fiber crops are the crops from which the threads are separated. So the cultivation of these crops are these are done in plantations. What is plantation? Can you give any other example of plantation? The first class tea, coffee, that is large estates when a single crop is planted. That is why plantation. Most of these crops which are included in this lesson are grown like that on larger plantation. In the previous part, we have learned some of the oil seeds. For example, mustard is grown along with the crop as a mixed crop. Okay, let's say here one single crop is grown on a larger area. In the previous this thing, sugarcane time, point I think time is frost is harmful. No? That point I missed. Frost is harmful to sugarcane, and you have to remember. I'll say watching that I remember this point I missed. Okay. Now this out of these crops, the first crop is cotton. What type of crop is that? And fiber crop, and it is a plant which grow for about how much time is required for the growth of that? 6 to 8 months. Sugarcane, sorry, this one, the cotton crop, require a growth period of 6 to 8 months. In the production of cotton, that is the second largest area we spend for the growth of cotton. So how much area? Second largest area we spend for the production of cotton cultivation. Why it is that we know that among that the crops other than the food crops, second largest area, because we earlier time onwards, India is the major producer of cotton as well as exporter of cotton. So because of that, a large area is spent for the cultivation of cotton. Then in production, what is the place? Fourth in production. What is the ranking? Fourth in the production of cotton. Next, which is the largest producer? Whatever crops we have studied, China is first. That is why we are having a feeling that okay, China. We are not valuing China also, isn't it? Or any Chinese product is not having quality. That is what we are thinking. But all the products, for example, America is producing, it is Apple iPhone and many other varieties of that mobiles and all. The manufacturing is done in China. American companies gave order to China to manufacture. But still, we are thinking that China is not having the quality. What is there? I don't know. That is, China is the major producer or the first producer of cotton. Now, what are the climatic conditions? You tell me who is going to read out the climate? What is the temperature requirement for the growth of cotton? You. 21 to 30 degrees Celsius temperature. Then, one most important feature is 200 frost-free days. That is very much compulsory. 200 days of frost-free. What is frost? It's a type of ICSE. So that is harmful. See, when the cotton balls start coming, if frost is there, it becomes useless. It cannot be used for making fiber. So that is why it requires 200 frost-free days. Next one, rainfall. Tell me. 150 centimeters. Soil type, black, black soil is otherwise known as salty soil. 50 to 75 centimeters. Okay. Textbook, it is written like that. It's also 100. So you keep it. That is this one is required. Rainfall is required for the textbook.
The ball.
Mistake can. So let's see. So in this textbook, it is written 100 to 150. Your textbook is written. Okay, about you can make it up to 100 centimeters because evenly distributed during the growing season. After that, if it is that growing season after flowering and this fruitation time, if rain is continuing, then that will be harmful. So during that growing season, you can write up to, that is say, okay, 50 to 100 you can write. So that middle it is first. Yes. So rotation period, when it is that rainfall is more, that will kill that crop. Means that it will get spoiled, fiber can be separated. Yeah. Next, what type of soil? The first soil is black soil. And what are the other type of soil? Even alluvial soil also it can grow. And black soil is the soil which is best suited. So that is why it is grown mainly in Maharashtra and the nearby states. But nowadays, it is grown in northwestern part of India. There is black soil. So that is why alluvial soil also it can be grown. But best suited soil is black. That is why that soil, you have learned about soil resources, no? That the weaker soil or black soil is known as cotton, black cotton soil. That is the suited soil. Okay. Now what are the methods of cultivation? Methods of cultivation. The seeds are sown by broadcast method. These are the two methods, broadcasting and drilling method. Can you tell what is broadcasting? So spreading that, scattering that seeds. That is what the broadcasting method. Okay. Or drilling method, drilling into put that seeds. Next one is sowing is mostly done before the onset of monsoon. You tell why this before the onset of monsoon it is done. Pardon? Can you tell that is why this is sown before the onset of monsoon? Monsoon time was that. See, we have seen it is grown in black soil. Black soil is having a peculiarity. It becomes sticky when that too much rain is there. So before that monsoon, pre-monsoon showers take place. Nowadays it is not monsoon, that is pre-monsoon. So this time the land will be tilled and made ready for. So that is why in order to avoid that stickiness of the clay soil, this one is done before the onset of monsoon. Once the monsoon starts, it will come with a burst. So much rainfall will be there. So that will be harmful for understood. Sticky type of soil. You learned that one. No? Soil resources learned. No? What are the natures of this black soil? It is having a self-plowing nature. During the dry season, it forms cracks. Isn't it? So that is why just after the pre-monsoon showers, the land will be made ready. So black soil is peculiarity is that. So before the onset of monsoon, that sowing of the seed is done. And once the monsoon starts, it will give more rainfall. Sometimes there is the chance of that the seeds will be carried away. and the land will be filled with the water. So it will be done before the onset of this. Got it clear? Next one, what is the method of harvesting? It is not taken together. As and how that your cotton balls are ready, it started. Understood. So what is that? Is the harvested in October. And that the crops are ripen and burst, like that is the cotton balls after covering start bursting. So in order to avoid it from flying away, they start plucking. Understood. So at this stage, like that rice how it is harvested together or wheat how it is harvested together, like that. No. So those which are ready will be plucked. It is manual, purely manual. And another thing is that the crop is harvested in 3 to 4 pluckings. Understood? Did you get the meaning? When that the cotton balls are ready, the outer shell start bursting. So that time, that all that the cotton balls will be done. Then next one will be ready, so that one will be done. It is not like that is pre-harvested or the full plant will be cut down. Only those which are ready, but so 4 times that pluckings will be done. By the time the whole cotton cotton balls can be taken. Clear? See how mango are taken. So which one is ready? Only we are done. When it is coming, growing, maturing. According to that maturity, it will pluck the mangoes. Have you seen that mango, your native places may be having now? Harvesting, you understood? After harvesting, the cotton crop passes through the following process. The processes you have to learn. After this harvesting, the next process is called ginning. Ginning is the process to separate the seeds from the body. Understood? So from that full balls, cotton balls, there is a method of separating seeds from. Have you seen cotton? So there are seeds. The seeds and the middle part have to be separated with the help of a spindler. Okay, ginning is the process of separating cotton from seeds. That is the first process. Okay. Now, the second process after cotton has been picked either by machine or by hand is killed. The seeds can be crushed. So afterwards, the seeds are sent to the mill for preparing oil. So first process after plucking, it will be sent to a spindler to separate seeds from cotton, and the seeds will be sent to the mill for extracting oil. Cotton oil is produced. That is not at all edible oil. It is used for other purpose, lubricants or any other service. Got it? Now, after that, there's a cotton bleach. That is the fiber. Cotton fiber is called a lint. Okay, this lint will be failed for factories or going to the factories to make a fiber. Understood? So first process is ginning. Ginning is to separate the seeds from cotton, and after that the seeds will be sent to the mill for extracting oil, and then the fiber which is made out of it is sent to the factories to make that thread. Got it? Now, after that process, it will be washed, cleaned, and then raw blade material is produced. That is called silver, not a silver. Silver. Silver is the material which is separated in the form of white. What is it called as silver? Got it? First one, ginning. After ginning, the seeds will be converted for making that production of oil. Then this part lint is sent to that factory to clean it, that means wash it, and then the silver is produced. Then the silver is then used in the spindles and spun. Then the process is spinning. First is spinning, then spinning. Got it clear? Now, which are the types of cotton? There are 3 varieties of cotton. Can you tell which are the varieties of cotton? Short staple. So what is the length of that cotton? Short staple. Less than 3.2. 2.2. Okay. Then medium distance. What is that length? 3.8. 2.8 centimeter. Then down. Above. Okay. So these are the 3 varieties. See, long staple cotton is the good quality. In India, long staple cotton is less. We are having that the first 2 categories only the maximum. Second, third category we are having less. So our looms have to work so much for making that quality. So which are the 3 varieties you understood? Which are the states where that cotton is producing? Major cotton producing areas? Then Gujarat, Andhra Pradesh, Maharashtra. See, earlier when I told black soil region. Black soil regions are Gujarat, Maharashtra, Karnataka, Andhra Pradesh. That region is black soil. And plus alluvial soil I told. Punjab now started producing cotton where alluvial soil is. So major production centers are black soil regions, Maharashtra, Andhra Pradesh, Karnataka, Gujarat. Then Punjab also produce cotton. Got it clear? Shall we move to the next crop? tiny fiber. So what are the, it is a long, then soft one, shiny fiber. Okay. What is that? See, can you, have you seen this jute material? Have seen? You have seen, no? Sack, packing sacks are the no body. That chawal or wheat is packed. And Chinese? Basically, it's the fiber. Okay, that is why. These are the characteristics. And the jute is a fiber. Okay, not say. This jute is not soft like our cotton material. When you see that the jute, it is coarse material. It is not a soft. That one means like a cotton. Then, proudly, both are called jute. That is fiber which we get at the plant as a whole is also called jute. Is known as the mind. Was of its concern as the politics provides huge benefits in the development. See, you will not get it directly the question like write a note on jute or like that. Which crop is known as golden fiber? So indirectly the question will come and then you have to write about it. So why jute is known as golden fiber? Can you tell anything about it? Very much fiber. Great about fiber. So which is not answer. Okay. Golden color. That is the fiber is having that color. Secondly, it affects more revenue. Through the export of this fiber, we get more money. That is why it is known as golden fiber. One is because of its color. Second is because of that currency we get or revenue we get. Got it? Why this called as? Continue. It is hardly adaptable at this level or see, there are so many varieties of jute. One of the type of jute is white jute. Nowadays, packaging materials are there. When you go to the shop, the shopkeeper is giving a white color package. That is when you are purchasing that cloth or anything, they are giving. Earlier, they used to give in plastic. Now, plastic is banned, so they are giving in a white color bag. This is a variety of jute. It is of low quality jute. Understood? So, this is what a hardy, highly adaptable and grows well in both lowlands and uplands. Then, so what is one is white jute. Second, second variety is chosa. What is chosa? Okay, read chosa variety. It's not that. Okay. Second variety of people. He was able to focus that answer. Now you are right. Which are the white already over. What is Tosha? It grows only on uplands and it can that is 2 hours in order to avoid that flooding. Because jute is grown in that majorly in that lands which are having plenty of water. It will require plenty of water. So in that growing area, the higher lands, Tosa variety is grown because to avoid flooding. Clear? It occupies how much percentage? 25% of total jute area. 75% is white jute, 25% is Tosa variety. Next. For what purpose it is used? Don't turn here. Underline this. What are the uses? Rough quality cloth sacks. Cloth sacks. Review. Sacks.
Tax and other packing materials.
So mainly this jute is used for making that packing material, sacks, and the rough quality clothes. Next, continue. It is now used.
Biodegradable alternative to plastic bags. It is used in making of many utility products like drugs, wine, apples, trampolines, etc.
Carpets, rough, twine, upholstery, tarpaulins. Have you seen tarpaulins? Tarpaulin is a type of material that is, if you are having vehicle or like that, for covering that one plastic type of material is used, no? So that is what a tarpaulin. Okay, for making tarpaulin, that's upholstery. That there are so many other materials made out of. That is useful material, kitchen purpose or other type of packaging material. Then, twine. Twine means a thread. What it is called in Hindi? Oh, bandhne ke liye use karte hain na? Thread only. No. Let's see. Let's see. So that is for tying purpose. Not a rope. Rope is made of wire and all. So this is smaller one. Two plates of thread. We are using that. Then only we will not understand. I'm telling everything you will not understand. Okay, that is what is twine. Clear? Next is carpet. Have you seen jute carpets? Yes. So these all are the other varieties because the government have introduced a jute policy. According to jute policy, that all the different variety of jute products should be made and the use of plastics to be reduced. Because jute is a biodegradable product, whereas the plastic is non-biodegradable. So biodegradable products to be used. Then, what is the other variety? Masta. Masta is the other variety. What is that? I'll tell you the beginning of the introduction of this one. When India was partitioned, that East Pakistan, present day Bangladesh, was the major jute producing area. It went to another country. So now, how India can manage? Most of the industries, jute industries were there in India. around Hooghly Basin, most of the industries were there, and the jute producing areas were shifted to East Pakistan. Now, in order to support that industries, a new variety of jute was introduced. Because to feed that industry, otherwise industries will become useless. So in order to feed that industries and to continue its work, a lower quality jute was introduced. That is called the mesta. Got it? Are you getting? Just keep the side. Some size. So, which are the varieties? White jute, tosa, and mesta. Mesta is the variety which is introduced after partition when the East Bengal, which was the most important jute producing area, went to Bangladesh. So, in order to support that industries which were there in India, a lower quality variety has been introduced that is called a clear. Now, what are the climatic conditions? First, move into read. Read. Climate.
Nature,
24 and 35. Hot and humid climate. Okay.
and the intensity of 90%.
Hmm.
Once the aggregate equal between more than 1 centimeter, about 2.5 centimeter was 10 months per centimeter, 5 centimeter.
150 to
But oh, we have more than 1.
so 150 to 200. Okay. That much temperature is required. Then, what type of soil? Best suited is alluvial soil, which is the alluvial soil is having two qualities. It's two types of alluvial soil. Which are they? Bangar and Bangar. Bangar wala you remember, so you will not forget. Okay, old is Bangar, and next one is Bangar. So here that is fertile. Every time the river brings that fertile soil, that soil is best suited for the jute cultivation. Clear? Next, what is the method of cultivation? You.
The seeds are going to have to be totally prepared because the crop is so heavily on lowlands and large uplands.
So two areas are there. There is February, which is that lowlands, no? And March to June is uplands. Yes.
Seeds is done by drilling.
So what is the method? Broadcasting and drilling. These are the methods of sowing tube. They are the methods. So this is the way. Middle one. So which are the methods of sowing, broadcasting, or drilling method? Now, you just see what is the method of harvesting. The harvesting of this is done in which month? September to July.
From July to September.
July to September. Okay. Harvesting is done. How this process? Listen very carefully. The whole plant is plucked. Okay. Then bundled and put soak in water. What is the method? The whole plant is removed, tied it, and soak in water for few days. That method is called retting method. Retting. See, this retting is essential to peel off that what is that stem's outer covering, so that thread can be separated. In cotton, we have learned so many processes, but here, in the case of jute, soak in water for few days so that the outer stems that are covering will be peeled off. Then it is very easy to remove the thread. That method is known as the retting method. Did you understand what is retting method? Retting method is the process of separating thread from the jute by soaking in water. When a thing is getting spoiled by putting in water, so that it is red. Okay, rotten. So this jute fiber can be separated by soaking in water. That method is called a retting method. So after that, the plant, this can be easily separated. Which are the areas where this jute is produced? West Bengal is the most important producer of jute, and nearby areas, parts of Bihar and Assam and the northeastern states, this crop is produced. Because availability of water is one of the essential component for jute. That is why most of the jute producing areas are around Hooghly Basin. Hooghly River, have you heard about that? Hooghly River is in West Bengal part. So, around the Hooghly River only, most of the jute producing areas are there. Jute is clear? Shall we move to tea? What type of crop is tea? Plantation crop. Then other one? Beverage crop. Very good. Beverage crop. It is also plantation. You read. Tea.
Ghana is the largest tea country in the world. India and Kenya rank second and third respectively. In India, tea plantations were started in 1823 when wild tea plants were discovered by the British in Assam forest. Most of the tea plantations in India are found at elevations ranging from 600 meter to 1800 meter above sea level. The average productivity life span of a tea bush is 50 years, but can extend much more in high altitude regions. Geographical requirements.
Wait. First one is that India is the largest producer, consumer, and exporter of tea. Three things are there. What is that? Producer, consumer and exporter. The 21st was declared as an international tea day. UNO declared it in 2019. That's 21, this month, May, 21st May, as International Tea Day. So people use different, that is one of the important beverage crop which is consumed by the whole world. So that is why UNO declared in 2019 as International Tea Day. This also I got afterwards, very recently only came to know that it was tea day, International Tea Day. Then I just made a search in it. So every alternate days are having some because International so and so day. I don't know that why this. Okay. So India is the largest producer, consumer, and the exporter of tea. Next important thing is that this it was introduced in India by as a plantation crop by British. It was invented by a Buddhist monk. That is what the history says. But they did not plant on large area and made it as an important crop. But British, when they came and established the rule in India, they established tea plantations in India. All the high elevations, they have set up tea plantations. And now almost all the tea plantations are in Indian hands. That earlier it was under the British control or Europeans are having control over it. Now majority of the tea plantations are in Indian hands. Okay. What are the climatic conditions required? Yes. Climate required for the growth of tea.
20 degrees Celsius and 30 degrees Celsius.
Between 20 to 30.
But 25 degrees Celsius is ideal temperature.
Which how much?
25 degrees Celsius.
25 degrees ideal for the growth. In your books, that is any variation in the 25? So that can. Yes. Now.
Opponents 150 to 300 centimeters.
See, 150 centimeter to 300. So some books it is 375. And 375, na?
Yes.
So some books I find it 375. So here from all the crops we have seen, this tea crop require maximum rainfall. It cannot grow in standing water, but it require rainfall. Understood? Because tea crop requires much rainfall. Okay. Then, what is the other condition? Soil. What is the type of soil required?
Right. So.
Loamy, alluvial. Any other soil? Tea can grow in laterite soil also. That is higher elevations where heavy rainfall is there. What type of soil is there? Laterite soil is there. So that soil is also good for the growth of this one with the fertilizers. We know that the laterite soil is not having any organic content. So because it get eroded and only that bigger particles remain, crystals are remaining. So with the help of fertilizer, Laterite soil, tea can be grown. Then porous soil rich in humus and iron. Now, what are the method of cultivation? Read. Methods.
Method of cultivation are sowing,
Sowing,
pruning,
pruning.
harvesting.
Methods of cultivation. First is that from the seeds and from the cuttings. That is what the pruning we have made. That is after cutting that plant, then from that new saplings have been brought. So that is why sowing is the at the same time pruning from the cuttings of that plant. Okay. Next is that how it can be raised from tea seeds. Seeds are sown in a well-prepared nursery, and the saplings are transplanted in the proposed tea gardens at a distance of 1 meter on all four sides. That means 1 meter distance. This from the nurseries, it is transplanted. See, tea seeds are sown in the nurseries, and from that, when it is grown into a plant, it is brought to that area where it has to be planted. So that is what a transplanting. Clear? And from the cuttings, we have seen that pruning. That is, pruning is the process of that cutting. And some areas what they are doing, a process of budding is there. Have you heard about the budding? That is good plant, and that the already existing mother plant, that the new plants part is joined. The process of budding. So high quality crop can be grown from that. It's a biology part. Yes. Okay. So what we were discussing, that is budding. the bio parts, that is the good part of that high yielding variety part is cut and bud to the original mother plant. That is the method. Okay. Yes. Any other question? You all are looking at the screen and smiling by seeing your own faces or any other thing? Hmm? Yes. I think you are looking at your own faces and smiling. Yes. So cuttings, what is done? Tea shrubs can be grown in nurseries from cuttings. This is known as clonal planting method of propagation of tea. The saplings are transplanted in the tea grass. Now harvesting process, little different method. There are so many types of tea varieties are produced. So all the methods are different. That is why we have to understand how black tea is produced, how green tea is produced, how oolong tea is produced, and another brick tea is produced. There are 4 varieties of urine. Where is this? Methods of cultivation over harvesting and process.
Plucking of leaves. The pruning of the bushes starts after 2 years in order to maintain the height and diameter of the plant, limited to 1 meter. In India,
One first thing is that in order to make the plant in a leveled way, there is a process of pruning. Because after 2 years of planting that crop, in order to make it in a proper level, so that the plucking of the leaves can be done. So a process is done to level that plant.
in India, picking is much more free. At lower elevations, tea is picked every 10 days during the growing season, and at higher altitudes, every 15 days.
See, the plucking of the leaves, it is purely manual labor, and women are used to do that work. And what they are doing, that is, they are plucking that tender leaves. Tender leaves are to be plucked, and the lowlands, it is done in every 10 days, no?
Yes.
And the highlands every 15 days. So the tender leaves to be plucked with a lot of care, because if the leaves are matured, or that is the maturity happen, that quality of that tea leaves will be not good. So that is why the high expertise is required to see that the 2 leaves with the bud. That way it has to be plucked. So that way every 10 years in lowlands and every 15 years highlands, the tender tea leaves are being plucked.
Days. It was days.
It was
Days.
15 days and 10 days. Okay.
Picking goes on all the time during the southwest monsoon season, from early April to mid-November. On average, there are between 16 and 20 pluckings a year. Frequent pruning encourages the rapid production of fresh leaves and shoots.
So what is that? Pruning as well as this plucking of tender leaves help the growth of this tender leaves. So mostly this harvesting is done between April to November. That is the season of plucking the leaves. Okay.
The tea shrub continues to be productive for about 50 years, after which restocking is necessary. Tea picking is a skillful job requiring patience and judgment. Usually done
That
by
is what I told you. They have to judge it, whether it is the right time to pick that leaves or not, whether it is grown. So then plucking, you see that the women, when they are plucking with both the hands, that is from the plant, and then putting in the bag on their back. So it requires a lot of patience and skill. Understood. Next step.
Who are better pickers and can be employed at relatively labor rates. Two tender leaves and a bud or shoot, known as pine plucking, are usually plucked from each stem.
I have told you, 2 leaves plus a bud. So that much have to be plucked at a time.
Processing. There are 4 types of tea. Each one is processed differently. These types are black tea. Black tea. The crushed tear curl (CTC) method of processing is done by drying the leaves, crushing them in a machine and fermenting them. This tea is taken with milk and sugar in India.
See, the processing of black tea here in volume, it is given in a simple way. Can you read from the volume? With the ring. With the ring, that is black tea, processing of black tea.
The gathered leaves are first withered or dried in the sun for a day or two to extract moisture.
So after plucking the leaves, it will be spread on that ground to get the sunlight. Understood? So that is what the withering the leaves. It is not to be dried fully. That moisture should go. So for that purpose, it is spread on the sunlight. That process is called a withering. Okay. After withering, second stage.
This twists the leaf to break its cell, exposing the juice to the air for fermentation, which helps to give tea its special flavor.
So fermentation. Have you heard about the fermentation? That is idli dosha. So that it will be prepared and kept for fermentation. That is what a way of from the leaves that air to be extracted in order to give special aroma, that is flavor to that tea. That is the second process. Got it? First is withering, second is rolling.
Fermentation. The leaves are allowed to ferment, and this reduces the amount of tannic acid in the tea by half, but does not impair its flavor.
So during this process, what is reduce the amount of tannic acid. In order to reduce the amount of tannic acid and maintain that flavor of tea, this process is done.
Drying. Leaves are placed on conveyor belts in an oven to dry them and give them black color by roasting and drying the leaves.
So it is a process of putting through the conveyor belt. In that process, it is getting dried. And drying is not exposed to the sunlight. Through a roller it goes, and it is like oven. It is passing through, and in that process it becomes black in color. So tender leaves green in color, and after all these processes, that fourth process it becomes black. Okay, that is what happened. Drying.
Blending. Expert blenders and tea tasters further blend the various grades of teas to give it special aroma and makes many properties brands.
So we are getting in the shop different brands of tea. This one is getting after the blending of tea. That is maintaining the aroma of the tea. At the same time, the quality checks are done to make that high quality, medium quality, low quality, like that. It is checking. That is what done through blending process. This is what the first one. What is that? A black tea, which we are getting from that shops. Are you interested to drink tea? No. Present day generation is not drinking. We cannot avoid the drinking tea. In between also we had tea. Tea is giving some kind of energy first. Okay. So those who are interested to drink tea, they are that means blindly after that. Okay. So they can understand that different that the taste of the tea. Okay. Now next processing of green tea. Have you ever tasted green tea?
Yes.
Green tea, So green tea is having that light green color. It is not having that black color. Okay. And it is told that in order to reduce the weight and all, this green tea to be taken. Yes.
Processing of green tea. In the preparation of green tea, lifted leaves and heated immediately by roasting them over or iron pans and are later rolled. Then the leaves are dried, grated and packed.
See, in this process of making green tea, it is not dried or withered in the hot sun or other processes like rolling and all, but directly what they are doing, heated by roasting in the hot iron pans. Understood? Then the leaves are dried and grated. So the withering process is not done and rolling and fermentation process is not done. But directly after plucking the leaves, it is sent to the hot iron pans, then rolled. Okay. Next, oolong tea.
Processing of oolong tea. It is prepared by partially drying and fermenting by leaves. Processing of brick tea. The leaves and the stem and tea dust are compressed into rectangular block.
So it is a bigger type of tea leaves. It is compressed into blocks of. Okay. Distribution. Assam, West Bengal, Tamil Nadu and Kerala. Okay, now we have come to that last type of beverage crop, that is coffee. Coffee, how many of you love coffee? Oh, you're already at that. So tea is enemy for you, coffee is your. Okay, let's see how this coffee is produced. Okay. If you are having onion, it's better. It's short and sweet. Read now.
Baba Bhutan are additionally Baba Bhutan sea from Arabia. Coffee is the leading tropical commodity in international trade and is the most abundantly produced
Non-alcoholic beverage. So who introduced this coffee in India? Baba Bhutan. That is why when he introduced this crop in the Bhutan hills, that particular place got the name also. See, he introduced that from Arabia, that is Yemen. He brought it and introduced in India. So it is a. Okay, what is that? Smuggled. Okay, then planted in the Bhutan hill. Okay, so that particular place also got the name Baba Bhutan hills. Okay. Now what type of crop is that? Tropical. It is one of the important commodity of our export. Tea is also the and coffee is also. Okay. Which are the varieties? Read.
varieties coffee, robusta,
Robusta.
Liberica and Arabica.
Three varieties are there: coffee, robusta, coffee liberista, and coffee arabica. Okay. Varieties it is written. Okay, read it. Read it.
It is the best coffee, coffee Arabica. It is the best coffee grown in India and accounts for more than 60% of the coffee grown in India. It is grown at elevations of 750 meter to 1500 meter above sea level. It is a delicate variety susceptible to diseases. Coffee robusta, grown mainly in South India, it is a hardy disease-resistant variety, but yields inferior quality of coffee. It is cultivated at elevations between 300 meter to 600 meter. The cost of production of this variety is less, and the yield per acre is higher, hence it is cheaper. Coffee in Liberica, this variety is hardy, disease resistance and cultivated mostly in the lowlands. It yields moderately good quality of coffee and is used to make instant coffee.
Okay, three varieties you understood, no? See, it is a tree crop. Not a big tree, it is a bushy type of tree. So that the pruning to be done to make the height in a moderate level. And on that tree, that is after 5 years, it start yielding beans, coffee beans. And this coffee beans have to be plucked. It is like that group of that one. One plant, so much yield can be there, and it has to be. That is when it become red in color, it will be plucked, then dried. After drying, it will be roasted and powdered. Understood? So all the processes to be in a very good way so that the aroma of the coffee can be maintained. So the fragrance that when the coffee powder is made, that rich aroma used to come. So if we are roasting it properly, if we are drying it properly, so then only that aroma can be maintained. That is what with a lot of care, this plant is grown and the whole processes are done. I think we understood that one now. Climatic conditions 15 to 28 degrees Celsius temperature and rainfall 150 to 200 centimeters, well distributed throughout the year. Okay. What are the type of soil? Loamy. The alluvial soil, well drained. What are the methods of cultivation? Sowing, that is propagated the seeds or cuttings in a nursery, and after a few months the saplings are transplanted. These trees are planted, these plants are planted at a distance of 3 meters. See, there are so many plants which are from 1.5 to 2. There are some plants which are that is 1 meter distance. But here, as it is a tree-like plant, it requires a distance of 3 meters apart. Clear? Then they are pruned annually to ease picking and ensure heavy bearing of coffee berries. The tree is kept to a height of 1.5 to 2.5 meters. I told you pruning is done to maintain the height. Harvesting. This also I have already told you. Harvesting of coffee is usually done in the 4th or 5th year after the plantation. Coffee picking is done by hand by removing the ripe berries from the stalk. Processing. There are two methods. One is wet method or parchment method. What is the wet method? Yes, read out. Wet method. Turn the page.
This method is used for parchments of coffees which consist of removal of the skin, pulping, pulping, fermenting, washing and drying. Nowadays, there are mechanical process on coffees estate.
So what is that? In order to remove that unwanted things, there is a process of washing, cleaning, and then drying process. So that process is called a wet method. Nowadays, machines are used for all this process. Okay.
Dry methods or native methods. The covering is removed by drying in the sun. Seeds are formed to remove the outer covering. The color, flavor, and taste of coffee are the results of roasting.
So I have told you all this method, that is, it is plugged, it is dried, and after that outer covering is removed, it is roasted and grinded. That is what. So in order to maintain the aroma, that a proper roasting to be done. Otherwise, if it is roasted more, then no aroma will be there. It will taste bitter only. So that proper aroma to be maintained. That is why it is called a native method. Where it is distributed? Kerala and Tamil Nadu. That is the tri-junction of this. Most of that tea growing is happening in Kerala and Karnataka. Tamil Nadu is the next. Okay. Yes, come. Tell me when it is then. Come. See the processes of which one you want? Cotton or this thing tea? It's a jute. Tearing first.
India is the world's biggest producer of jute, followed by Bangladesh. Jute is primarily grown in West Bengal, Odisha, Assam, Meghalaya, Tripura.
Is it audible?
And Andhra Pradesh. The jute industry in India is 150 years old. There are about 70 jute mills in the country, of which about 60 are in West Bengal along both the banks of River Hooghly. Jute production is a labor-intensive industry. It employs about 2 lakh workers in West Bengal alone and 4 lakh workers across the country. Jute is the only crop where earnings begin to trickle in way before the final harvest. The seeds are planted between April and May and harvested between July and August. The leaves can be sold in vegetable markets for nearly 2 months of the 4-month jute crop cycle. The tall, hardy grass shoots up to 2.5 meters, and each part of it has several uses. The outer layer of the stem produces the fiber that goes into making jute products. But the leaves can be cooked. The inner woody stems can be used to manufacture paper, and the roots, which are left in the ground after harvest, improve the yield of subsequent crops. Compared to rice, jute requires very little water and fertilizer. It is largely pest resistant, and its rapid growth spurt ensures that weeds don't stand a chance. To top it all, the monetary returns on jute are twice that of paddy. An acre of land produces approximately 9 quintals of fiber. Not only does this wonder crop bring home higher returns compared to most cash and food crops, but it is also a massive winner on the sustainability front. Jute is the second most abundant natural fiber in the world. It has high tensile strength, acoustic and thermal insulation, breathability, low extensibility, ease of blending with both synthetic and natural fibers, and anti-static properties. Jute can be used for insulation, replacing glass wool, geotextiles, activated carbon powder, wall coverings, flooring, garments, rugs, ropes, gunny bags, handicrafts, curtains, carpet backings, paper, sandals, carry bags, and furniture. Golden fiber revolution has long been called for by various committees, but the jute industry is in dire need of basic reforms. Two major problems of the industry are obsolete processing technology and the lack of product diversification. The availability of quality raw jute and shrinking acreage on one hand, and the failure of most jute mills to modernize has left the sector dependent on government support like packaging reservations. Only a section of the industry has diversified into non-packaging segments. Jute Packaging Materials Compulsory Use in Packing Commodities Act was enacted in 1987 to protect the jute sector from the plastic packaging segment. In October 2020, the government decided that 100% food grains and 20% sugar will be mandatorily packed in jute bags.
You want to see your copy.
दाल का लोड तो कर लो गुड एनर्जी पी लो ये असली हाइड्रेशन इसमें चीनी कम इलेक्ट्रोलाइट ज्यादा और जीरो कैलोरी There are 7 varieties of coffee in India that have received a geographical indication tag. There's Coorg, Chikmagalur, Araku Valley, Wayanad, Monsoon Malabar Arabica, Monsoon Malabar Robusta, and Baba Budangiri coffee. They say every hero needs an epic origin story. So it's only natural that Indian coffee has one too.
In 17th century, it will be believed, we are told, a gentleman called Baba Budan was a pilgrim who went on his Hajj. When he was coming back, he smuggled in 3 or 4 coffee beans with him.
According to legend, Baba brought these beans to India hidden in his beard and then planted them in these hills that were later named after him, the Baba Budangiri Hills. He really built his legacy from the ground up. Get it? Like ground coffee? Anyway, did you know everyone's favorite coffee beans are not beans at all? They are actually the pits of the cherry like berries found on flowering shrubs. It is said that coffee was discovered when a farmer found his goats dancing after eating these berries around 800 AD. Now, India is one of the largest producers of coffee in the world. And what's more, around 71% of the 300,000 metric tons of the coffee produced in India every single year is grown in the state of Karnataka alone. This coffee company